Oh my god. Yo. Today I went to my local league cup and I had a pretty solid run, so let me go ahead and talk about my games and how the tournament went. And as you can see, we've got some prize pack series 7 that I'm opening up with some crazy pools in this set, so I'm going to be talking over this as I open these up. This tournament was 5 rounds best of 1, and then the top 8 moved on to a single elimination bracket, which was best out of 3. Round 1 I was up against a Goldango player. My MVP of this game was definitely Budew, item locking my opponent, so where they could not play any items, they couldn't get any gimme goals down, and I was able to just kind of quickly win the game. My round 2 was up against a Grimmsnarl. This is a deck that I've kind of struggled playing against in the past, just because I don't have a lot of experience of playing against it in person. At the start, it was a pretty close matchup. It was just kind of me setting up and them setting up. I was able to pull away and get a lead, and overall, they really couldn't do much. Towards the end of the game, I basically just wiped out the Grimmsnarls from the board. My round 3 was a very interesting one. I was playing against Pidgeot Control, and if you've played Pokemon in the past, you know that this has been a deck in the past, and then it kind of fell off, but now we're kind of starting to see it a little bit more. It's still not even close to being a meta deck, but I think it's definitely a real deck now and it has potential. But that being said, I knew the game plan was simple. Let me not put any liabilities on the board, let me only put my attackers. So luckily I started off with a Dreepy. I managed to put another Dreepy on my bench, and basically all I did was set up 2 Dragapults, so that way if they try to move any energies around with Elgium, I'd still be okay because it's ending up on a Dragapult. At this point I was 3-0 and there was 2 rounds left. There were 3 other people that were also undefeated, and so what we decided to do was just tie our last 2 rounds. Typically when a cup is 5 rounds like this, if you're undefeated by the end of round 3, you can just intentionally draw and just guarantee yourself top 8, so that's exactly what we did. In top 8, my round 1 opponent was a Charizard player, and not gonna lie, I got absolutely destroyed game 1. It wasn't even close. Game 2 was a lot closer, but I managed to take the win. And then by the time game 3 started, we only had about 4 or 5 minutes left, so I knew that there was a chance it would kind of come down to a sudden death situation. But pretty much right when they called time, I had a really strong board and I was able to just kind of wipe their entire board. And at this point, I moved on to the top 4. My opponent was Ethan's Typhlosion. On the other side of the bracket, it was a Flareon player against another Charizard. So I knew if I had a chance to win this and hopefully I could pair into Charizard, then I would have a really good shot of winning this entire thing. Game 1 against Ethan's Typhlosion, I got destroyed once again. They managed to set up very fast. They were playing the Pidgeot build to where they could search for any cards, so I quickly just got overrun by Typhlosion. He was able to get all of his Ethan's adventures in the discard pile, able to find the Gravity Mountain, the Brave Bengal, basically everything you need. So game 2, I decided to go first. That way I could hopefully set up some Dreepies on the board and get those evolved pretty quickly. It worked out for me. I was able to slow him down and just kind of prevent him from setting up multiple Typhlosians, and I was able to take game 2. And then game 3 went really bad for me. I had to go first. I had no Dreepies down turn 1, and then by the time I got Dreepies down, he already had Typhlosion and was already knocking stuff out. So unfortunately, my run ended there at top 4. I got 4th place out of 32 players. I ended up with a bunch of prize packs, which turned into some really good pools, as you can see, and now it's on to the next one.